In the heart of an ancient forest, where the sun dappled through the dense canopy above, Alessandra Lockhart found herself drawn to a clearing that seemed to hum with an otherworldly energy. The air was thick with the scent of moss and earth, and the light that filtered through the leaves played across her fair skin like a lover's caress. Her raven hair cascaded down her back, a stark contrast to the vibrant greenery that surrounded her. Alessandra had always been fascinated by the legends of old, the tales of magic that lingered in the shadows of the modern world. Today, her curiosity had led her to a secluded glade, rumored to be the resting place of a cursed flower, a bloom that could bridge the gap between souls, regardless of time and space. As she stepped into the clearing, her forest-green eyes fell upon the alcove, a natural throne of stone and vine. And there, nestled within its embrace, was the flower. Its petals shimmered with an ethereal glow, pulsing with a life force that seemed to beckon her closer. Unbeknownst to Alessandra, in a time not her own, Lucian Hale wandered these same woods. The midday sun cast a golden hue over his dirty blonde hair, and his dark blue eyes held a mischievous glint as he explored the untamed wilderness. He was a man of the earth, his body toned from years of labor, his hands calloused and strong, and between his legs he carried the proof of his virility, a generous endowment that promised pleasure to any who dared to partake. Lucian had heard the whispers of the cursed flower, a legend that spoke of a connection so profound it could entwine the fates of two strangers. Driven by a mix of skepticism and intrigue, he found himself standing before the very same alcove, though centuries apart from Alessandra. The moment their fingers brushed against the flower's silken petals, the world around them shifted. Time folded in on itself, and the space between their realities grew thin. Alessandra's breath hitched as she felt the warmth of another's presence, and Lucian's heart pounded in his chest as the air before him shimmered and took form. There, in the clearing, they stood face to face, two strangers bound by the magic of the flower. Their eyes locked, and a silent understanding passed between them. They were from different eras, yet the desire that ignited within their chests was timeless. Alessandra's gaze traveled the length of Lucian's body, lingering on the bulge that strained against his breeches. A flush crept across her fair skin, and her nipples hardened beneath the thin fabric of her dress. Lucian, in turn, drank in the sight of her, her ample breasts begging to be freed from their confines, her hips curving like the hills that rolled beyond the forest. "What is your name?" Lucian's voice was a low rumble, thick with the need that pulsed through him. "Alessandra," she replied, her own voice barely above a whisper. "I am Lucian," he said, stepping closer, "and I have never seen anything as beautiful as you." The space between them vanished as they came together, their lips meeting in a kiss that was both a question and an answer. Alessandra's hands roamed over Lucian's broad shoulders, pulling him closer as their tongues danced in a frenzy of wanton desire. Lucian's hands found the laces of her dress, his fingers deftly undoing the ties that held her modesty in place. The fabric fell away, revealing the splendor of her naked form. Her breasts, full and heavy, ached for his touch. He cupped them in his hands, his thumbs brushing over her pebbled nipples, eliciting a moan from deep within her throat.